We are out here in Del Mar, California. We're back here again at this RV park, checking out a tiny house today. I haven't done a tour on this channel for a really long time, so today we're getting right back into it. There's the van parked up in the shade, and right behind the van, check this out. Hold on. You can see right here, there's the tiny house. It is for Alaska, the Tiny House Concierge. She is an awesome human, and I just can't wait to hear more about her story. I can't wait to hear more about how she got started, and I know she's got a unique story. On a beautiful Sunday, let's take a tour of a tiny home. Alaska, the Tiny House Concierge. We're about to do a tour of her beautiful tiny house. Alaska, tell me a little bit about yourself and your house.
Hello, thank you for having me on your YouTube channel. I'm honored. My name is Alaska, but online I'm known as the Tiny House Concierge, and this is the Tiny House of Peace.
I know you're on tour right now, is that right? You're moving. This is a moving tiny house.
It's a moving tour, yes, exactly. We're going on tour because I am moving. It's been very fun. We started in Boulder, Colorado, and we are headed to Washington State. And along the way, we're holding tiny house Christmas parties and shooting YouTube events with the fabulous Travis James and having a great time.
Is this your first time moving your tiny house?
Actually, no, but this is my first time moving it myself. I do have help. The tiny home lady and the tiny freedom guy were kind enough to help me move my house, so very grateful for that. I called Lindsay, the tiny home lady, and I said, is this a terrible idea to move my tiny house myself? And she said, oh, hold on, I'm gonna call you. And in the course of that phone call, the idea came to be that we would move the house together. And as the plan progressed, we just kept adding more and more stops along the way, and now we're on tour.
Okay, it's Sunday now. They started on Monday from Boulder, Colorado, and they've made it down to San Diego. They're taking the warm route all the way up to Washington. We have been so excited to check out your tiny home. I'm gonna turn it over to Alaska, and she's gonna give us the tour of her beautiful home that is currently in motion to its permanent house up in Washington.
This house was built by the Mint Tiny House Company in British Columbia, Canada. It is based on their Napa model, and the first owners at Born and Bound are responsible for the customizations like the windows and things like that. I bought the home at the end of 2020. I bought it furnished, and then I added my own decor and flair to it on top of that. And I named it the Tiny House of Peace because as soon as I sat down on the couch, all I did for the first 3 days was cry my eyes out because I knew it was finally going to be okay.
And this couch though, come on, that's like cozy vibes right there.
I'm not gonna lie, the couch, as soon as I sat on the couch, like I sat right here, and this might, by the way, when I bought the tiny home, I had never been in a tiny house. I'd never seen one. I saw it online. I told this woman on the phone, I'm buying it, you don't understand, this is my house. I got into my car, I drove to Texas. I stood in the house and I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is smaller than I thought. But then I sat on the couch and this is the moment I was like, okay, like it's actually comfortable. I think I can do tiny living. I've been sleeping on it while we're on tour. I've been sleeping on it. Oh, by the way, the couch is storage. Projector screen lives back here. So you hang it right where these wooden beads are hung. And then on this white, and then it comes down. And you have 70-inch movie night. Because who doesn't need a movie theater in their tiny home?
That's perfect.
So going this way, we have a gas stove, gas oven, range hood, Berkey water filter right here. Love my Berkey. Water is the life force. Keep it clean. This is actually a roll-out pantry. This is a custom piece that I modified. So this is actually two what's called bathroom carts. So I cut the metal, I sawed off the metal arms and I added these bungee straps so I could get stuff in and out. And then the spaces magnet on and off. And I took 2 bathroom carts and then I used hardware to connect them together. I put the cute stuff on top and I put the stuff that's not so cute on the bottom so that when I push it away, it disappears. These are my closets. So we're moving, so it's not cute in there, but this is a utility closet and this is my clothes closet. All of my clothes that I own are in here except for winter wear. I keep that in the couch. I'm not a clothes person. When I went tiny, I realized I kind of had to define my life around a few things, so I picked writing, health, and adventure. Clothes are great, but if I had to pick 3 themes for my life, clothes is not on the list. However, speaking of clothes, this is where laundry is kept. And I love that because laundry can breathe and it won't get all mildewy and gross. And then you turn around and do laundry. I have a stackable washer dryer, absolutely love it. And I also love that it takes up approximately 4 square feet. If you want to buy a tiny house, you have to decide what you want your life to be about. Like, pick what you love. Design your life around it. For me, health was a big thing on the list, which is why I love this part. Infrared sauna, baby. Hold on. Absolutely the best part of my tiny house. It's not built into the house, but it came with the house when I bought it. And the reason I saw this house and it was my house is my sister has life-threatening chronic illness issues. And a sauna was a major part of her treatment and her turnaround and her success story. And I saw a house that had a sauna in it. And I knew that this was the house that could keep a roof over my head, that I could move for her treatment or for my job. Yeah, I always happen to be a spa person. And so I love that it has that element for me, but there's also like a deeper reason behind the sauna as well. And I love it. It turns different colors and it's also Bluetooth enabled. So you can turn this into a giant speaker for the tiny home and make it rainbow. Over here we have the toilet. This is a urine diverting toilet. Liquid goes into the front, solids go into the back, solids go into a bucket lined with a biodegradable bag. There's a fan running all the time, dries it out, and then you tie a knot and you throw it away like a doggy bag. You still want to be cautious about where you throw that bag. I've heard mixed things about trash or garbage. I'm not at all an expert on that. So when I say throw away the bag, throw it where it can go. But yeah, so this allows you to have more parking options because you take black water out of the equation. However, this house is magic and special. This house is actually double plumbed, which means that if I want to have a regular toilet, I can pop this out and switch another one in about 20 minutes. So the plumbing already exists in the walls to support 2 kinds of toilets. That will not only increase the resale value of your tiny home, but it will make your life incredibly easy when it comes to finding tiny house parking. Fun fact. So this is the tiny house shower. It is a corner shower with a sliding glass door. As you can see, I have my mop in it at the moment. Rainfall shower head. I love it. It does the trick. It doesn't feel like an RV shower. I mean, like, I can have plenty of room in here to throw a shower party if that's a thing. That's not a thing. Don't make me lame. Edit this to make me look cool.
You came to the right place, but trust me when I say shower party is gonna be in the video.
No. Shower party room. And then this is the sink. Works pretty good. I sometimes hit my head on that. That's kind of like... People ask me, they're like, what do you regret about your tiny home? I'm like, almost nothing. I wish my medicine cabinet was 2 inches less wide, or maybe shallower. But like, honestly, those are my complaints about my layout is awesome. Actually, can I show you something about my layout?
Show me.
This is something that people do not think about. So my kitchen is seamless to cook in, and here's why. I have a theory that because we read left to right, it makes sense to our brains to move from left to right. So in this kitchen, you can do that when you cook. You prep, you cook, you plate, you wash dishes, and you dry. This kitchen is one directional. It is absolutely seamless, and I cook all the time.
That's pretty slick. Like you just all the way across. And I feel like you've utilized every square inch as well. Everything has a home in this little space.
Absolutely. I didn't get into this life to be stuffing stuff in cabinets and scooting by. And no, it has to feel seamless. So one of my favorite sneaky storage places are these stairs. So all of these open up and have storage inside. So again, we're in the middle of a move, but so it's a little bit messy right now, but you can see all that. Fun fact, I shop at Costco. That was one of my major concerns in going tiny, is I am a big Costco person. I was like, do not take Costco away from me. This is the drawer that allows me to do it, because it's actually, if you go on this side, it's this deep. It goes all the way down to the floor. So this is about 4 cubic feet of space, and that's where I keep my Costco hoard. If you want to follow me, I'll take you up to the bedroom. That was the sleep zone. We tried to creep up there, but then we found that Eric, the Tiny Freedom guy, fell asleep. Because we've been on a long journey. We are on a 2,600 mile road trip right now, so we're just gonna let him sleep.
So this is perfect segue, because I really want to hear more about the journey you guys are on right now.
Yeah, well, it started very practically. I needed to move. I wanted to move from Colorado to Washington to be closer to family, and in arranging that, it just so happened that Lindsay and Eric were kind enough to help me move the house. And from there, it spiraled into, we wanted to say hi to our tiny friends. We wanted to connect with our tiny community. And then we wanted to throw Christmas parties. And now this tour, as you say, just keeps growing in its size and duration and fabulousness. We are now scheduled to be on the road until after New Year's. So, we could have done it in 6 days. It turns out it's going to be a little over, or about a month.
How did you get into the tiny house? In one of your videos, you said it was kind of spur of the moment.
Right.
Maybe tell me a little bit about that.
It was not my plan. I wanted to spend my life living. I wanted to live a beautiful life. And to me that meant being a writer. That meant being in control of my time. That meant being at home with my family. That meant being able to travel. That meant eating, fresh food. That meant beautiful surroundings. And a few years ago, I had a job. I was working at a gym. I was trying to make it as a writer. And I was in Orange County, California. My half of the rent was 56% of my take-home pay. I tracked my expenses for a year, including cash. I started examining my time, because I wanted to understand this relationship of time and money and energy, and figure out, how I could somehow rearrange these pieces into a life that made sense.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to spend my life, indoors behind a desk working for someone else so that I could have 2 weeks of vacation a year, crappy health insurance, and maybe never retire. That was a bad deal.
It was like the failed American dream almost.
Yeah. The conclusion from all of that research that I came to was that if housing is your biggest expense, that is your greatest opportunity to free yourself. My half of the rent was 56% of my take-home pay. I could get a 56% raise at work, or I could try and fix my housing problem. I tore apart my options. And I was actually trying to buy a rental property. I was going to live in one bedroom and rent out the other bedrooms. That was the route that I was heading.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that all the offers I put in on traditional houses fell through. And then I saw the tiny house online, and I just knew that was my house. And ironically, now people hire me to write about this lifestyle. So it came, I got what I wanted. I got to be a writer, but not in the way that I thought. The house didn't free me financially so I could write. The house became the thing that I write about.
I feel like the passion behind this is strong, and all I want to hear is what is that passion to you? Why is living tiny so meaningful and important to you as a person?
So living tiny is important to me because it's of the way it's saturated my life. It's taken all of the white noise out of it. anything, any activity, hobby, relationship that I only kind of liked is gone. Not everything will fit in a tiny house, and all that's left are my very favorite things. And the end result is a saturated life filled with what I love. This is the beautiful life that I was after, and I'm incredibly grateful for it.
Alaska, come here. All right, you're the Tiny House Concierge.
Yes.
There we go. Okay, tell everyone how they can find you. Where can we keep up with your journey?
Yes. tinyhouseconcierge.com, YouTube, Tiny House Concierge, Instagram, @Tiny House Concierge.
Yeah. That's how you know. I can't wait to see where you end up in Washington.
Thank
I'm so excited. So thank you so much for doing this. And yeah, this is fun.
So
This is
fun. Thank
Yeah.
you for having me.
Yeah.